Your curly hair's gone already.
I know.
New vlog, new hair. That's what
Yeah,
they say. Every
every vlog I'm just gonna change my hair. That would get expensive. I'm not gonna do that.
Didn't Gemma Marbles do that?
Yeah. Can I just say that I am so happy to finally be living in a place where seasons do what seasons are meant to do. Like, one of my favorite quotes of all time is from the movie Miss Congeniality, where they ask one of the girls, "What's your favorite date?" And she misunderstands the question. And she's like, "My favorite date is April 25th because it's not too hot, it's not too cold. All you need is a light jacket." And I've always thought that it's so iconic that that is one of my friend's birthdays, April 25th, and I think that's so cool that that literally is her birthday. But that quote like makes the assumption that like late April in a place where seasons do what they're supposed to, that's what late April is supposed to be like. And here we are on April 26th, we're in late April, and it's super sunny and 50 degrees. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. Literally all I need is a light jacket. The only problem is that I don't have a light jacket. So I'm wearing one of Miles's like bigger shirts. This is not a jacket. This is a shirt, not a jacket. But I'm just so excited. This is so cool. Seasons are seasoning. But Miles and I, we're gonna take a little walk. We're gonna head over and buy some cookies for tonight. We're having like a little get together with our neighbors tonight, and we're gonna bring some cookies. So we're gonna buy some cookies for that. And I think we're also gonna get some lunch. The shirt was too light of an option. I traded Miles, and now I have a jacket. We're going over to our neighbor's house for dinner tonight, and so we're gonna bring Levain cookies for dessert. I actually discovered these in Los Angeles. My team sent me like the most massive, I actually think I have it in a vlog from like 400 years ago. My team sent me like this massive tin of Levain cookies, and since then my life was changed. These cookies are insane. They're so decadent. So we only bought 3, which is like a weird amount to bring for dinner. But the idea is that we'll like break them all up, try little bits of each, because when I say these cookies are like so massive, I would show you, but I don't want to be like touching the cookies that we're then bringing over for dinner. We got a classic chocolate chip, we got a peanut butter chocolate one, and then they had, which was like the best day of my life when I realized this, they have a lemon, I think it's a lemon cake cookie. When I say that anything lemon flavored, whether it's like a dinner lemon flavored thing or a dessert lemon flavored thing, like lemon is my favorite of all time, my favorite flavor in cooking. So I am so excited to try this lemon cookie. I also kind of love the fact that we're going over to our neighbor's house for dinner. Like, when I say neighbor, I mean open our apartment door, take 2 steps across the hallway, going into their apartment. That is like the most sitcom plan I've ever heard. And I love that. Like, anytime my life can act like a sitcom, I'm here for that. Honestly, this whole weekend is kind of acting like a sitcom. Like, the weather is like if you put in late April weather into ChatGPT and it just put out late April weather. It's like such like spring sitcom weather. Like, if there was an episode of New Girl on April 26th, this is exactly what the weather would be. And we would be grabbing cookies and we would be going across the hall to our neighbors for dinner. Like, I love that. So here we are having a wonderful, relaxing Sunday that I'm making complicated for no reason. We're gonna go to Solid Core at 1:30, which I'm really excited about because my last Solid Core class was not my best. I kind of faked my way through the whole thing because it was my first time back in a few weeks, and so I was just kind of like trudging through. But today I'm ready, and midday workouts are my best. I am not alive in the morning. I do my best because that's typically the time that we have to work out, but I'm just not alive in the morning. But then nighttime workouts, I'm kind of like dead from the day, and like I can kind of motivate myself through it, but like I'm kind of just like ready to be done for the day when it comes to nighttime workouts. So midday workouts, which is what this will be, this is my prime. So we're doing that, and then tonight at 6 p.m., Miles and I have an appointment. I don't know if we're gonna purchase wedding bands. It depends how confident we feel after the appointment, but we have an appointment to like start discussing and designing wedding bands. So that's gonna be so fun. And of course, on top of all of that, I have decided to make a sourdough loaf today. And if you know anything about sourdough, you will know that pretty much, well, it's not the only thing that matters, but the most important thing is the timing. Typically on the day that I make my sourdough dough and the day that I shape the loaf, that's day 2 of the process. Typically on that day is a day when I like dedicate myself to say like, okay, I'm gonna be home for the day. Like I make sure to plan it for a day where there's not much going on so that I can be here, so that I can get the timing right. But here I am doing it on a day when I have a 1:30 solid core and a 6 p.m. appointment. We'll see if this works. I have no clue if I'm gonna be able to pull this off. For this to work, my starter needs to be at its peak, I think around like 3:34. That way I can get through a few rounds of the stretch and folds before we have to go to the appointment. And that way by the time we get back from the appointment at like 7 p.m., it won't be like I pushed the dough too long. Like I don't want, the last thing I want is for like to time it so that my dough is like ready to be shaped at 7 p.m. or of course even before that, because I don't want to have to accidentally push the fermentation process too long because I'm not home. So we'll see. I fed Arthur this morning, but not too early in the morning. And it's all gonna depend on when Arthur is ready. Arthur is my sourdough starter. I'm crossing my fingers that he is naturally ready around like 3:34. But there is a good shot that he's gonna be ready while we are like gone at solid core, because typically when I feed Arthur, he usually is ready around like 2 p.m. So, but we have like another glorious sunny day today. It is gorgeous. So we're gonna walk to solid core today. It's kind of a far walk. So if the weather isn't perfect, we do usually drive. When we first moved to Chicago, we were walking to pretty much every single class. And then throughout the winter, we drove to pretty much every single class. Although there was a stretch there when I was having issues with my car. I won't get into that, but there was a stretch there when we were walking to solid core in like 10 degrees. I'm so happy we're out of that. I don't know if we're out of like cold weather yet, but we're definitely out of that weather. And I'm so happy to be out of that weather. So yeah, I'm just excited to soak up the springtime weather and have what will hopefully be a very successful solid core class, followed by catching Arthur at the right time. Wish me luck. It's a wolf. It's a wolf. I think this timing's gonna work.
46 minutes only to lose. Yikes.
I just baked my sourdough loaf and she is underproof. She's a little flat. I think it's because I had so much energy focused on accidentally not letting the dough go too long in fermentation that I accidentally let it go too short. But here's the thing, I've said this once, I'll say it again. As long as you don't completely burn your loaf or like don't cook it all the way through, as long as it's just like cooked to a normal amount, whether it's underproofed, whether it's overproofed, your homemade sourdough loaf is going to taste, no matter what, it is going to taste so much better than store-bought bread. Maybe you end up with bigger bubbles or smaller bubbles or whatever, but it is gonna taste good. I am not a part of the sourdough perfection community. It's all about the journey. I also started editing this video this morning and there are so many cute moments in this video. I have kind of, not pivoted, but I've kind of altered my like capturing style a little bit. I've been focusing less on gathering clips that like make sense in an order or tell like a very easy to follow story, and I've instead prioritized clips that are just like cute moments. We'll see how it comes together. It might be so hard to follow, but it just feels so much more real so far. So yeah, I'm having fun playing around with it. And that's another thing that's like sitcom-y about this weekend. Even the vlog itself is giving like wholesome sitcom-y vibes, like a montage in a sitcom. But yeah, it's Monday now and I actually go to Cancun on Thursday. that like hasn't sunk in even for me. I need to like really get things in order for that. We're going for one of my friend's bachelorette parties. It's gonna be so much fun, but I need to pack and I need to buy like 100 proof sunscreen. 100 proof? No, 100 strength. What is it called? Level 100. I also have been realizing over the past few days, I was sick a few weeks ago and I like wasn't getting better, and I thought that the sickness was just lasting a really long time, and I was like, wow, this is really like a lingering illness. But then it dawned on me that this is my first spring in the Midwest in 10 years, and I think I might have allergies. How do you know if you're sick or if it's allergies? Because it definitely started with an illness. I was definitely sick when it started, but now I'm starting to get suspicious. I never had allergies growing up. I grew up in Wisconsin, and nothing about the spring in Wisconsin affected me, but I know you can develop allergies later in life, and I'm wondering if moving away and being away from like the Midwest pollen, is pollen different in different places? I would assume. I think potentially being away from the Midwest pollen for 10 years is potentially catching up to me. So I'm gonna investigate that. I think I'm gonna get myself, what should I take, Zyrtec or Claritin? I'm gonna do something. But other than that potential hiccup, I'm loving spring. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have a feeling this is gonna be one of my favorites to watch back. So if you agree, let me know. As always, I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you're having a good week, and I'll see you guys next time.